My dear friends, welcome to A1 Aptitude Academy. In this video, we will discuss the syllabus of Class 10th Social Studies or Social Science 2021-22. So first of all, we see the unit-wise allocation of marks. So first unit is India and the Contemporary World. So 20 marks have been allocated to this unit. Then second unit is Contemporary India, 20 marks again. Then third unit is democratic politics, 20 marks again. And fourth unit is economics, understanding economic development. So again 20 marks. So first unit belongs to history, second unit belongs to geography, third unit belongs to civics, and fourth unit belongs to economics. So total 80 marks for external examination, and external examination has been divided in two parts, term 1 and term 2. So term 1 will have only multiple choice questions, that is MCQs, and term 2 will have descriptive type questions. So now we see the details of the syllabus. So before discussing the syllabus, I want to tell you that some chapters have been cut off from your syllabus, and those chapters have been allocated only for midterm exam, that those exams which are taken by your school. Okay, so I will not discuss those chapters here. I will discuss only those chapters which will come in your board exam. Okay, so now first unit is from history, and chapter number 1 is the rise of nationalism in Europe. Okay, so first topic is the French Revolution and idea of the nation. Okay, first topic belongs to French Revolution. Now second unit, second topic, the making of nationalism in Europe. Okay, then third topic is the age of revolution from 1830 to 1848. Then the making of Germany and Italy. Okay, here we will discuss the revolutions of Germany and Italy. Then next topic is visualizing the nation. Then nationalism and imperialism. Imperialism. Okay. Imperialism means when a country governs other country. Okay. When a country considers itself superior to other. Okay. Then it's called imperialism. Now second chapter is nationalism in India. So in chapter 1 we discussed nationalism of Europe. Here we will discuss nationalism in India. So the First World War, then Khilafat movement and non-cooperation movement. It is the time of First World War, then Khilafat movement and non-cooperation movement. Then second topic is differing strands within the movement. Okay. Then third is towards civil disobedience. So this movement was run by Gandhiji. Civil disobedience. Then next is the sense of collective belongingness. The sense of collective belonging. Now chapter number 3. Chapter number 3, making of global world. Making of global world. First topic is pre-modern world. Pre-modern world. Second topic is 19th century, and time period is 1815 to 1914. Then third topic is interwar economy. That means First World War, Second World War, economy during the war period. Then rebuilding a world economy. That means post-World War. Okay, post-World War era. What happened to economy after the war? Then fourth chapter is the age of industrialization. So first topic is before the industrial revolution. What was the condition before industrial revolution? Second, hand labor and steam power. This was before industrial revolution. Then industrialization in colonies. Colonies means countries like India, which were governed by other superior countries. Then factories. Okay, factories come up. It was result of industrialization. Then the peculiarities of industrial growth. Then market for goods. India was a good market for goods, manufactured goods. So British did not want to leave India. Then chapter number 5, print culture and modern world. Then first topic is the first printed books. Then print comes to Europe. Then the print revolution and its impact. Then next topic is the reading mania. Print revolution, it was a result of print revolution, reading mania. Then next is the 19th century. It was during 19th century. Then India and the world of print. What was the impact of print revolution on India? Then religious reforms in India and public debates. Then new forms of publication. Now print and censorship. Bans on print media or printed books. Then unit number 2. So unit number 2 belongs to geography and its name is Contemporary India part 2nd. So chapter number 1 is, so first of all we see the reduced syllabus, the chapters which have been cut off from the board exams. So this is the chapter number 2nd, then chapter number 3, second, third, third. Only second and third chapter you will not find in board exams. So we will not discuss those chapters which will not come in board exams. So chapter number 2nd and chapter number 3rd. Okay. So we start from first chapter of geography. So first is resources and development. Now types of resources I have already discussed in science also these things. So second is development of resources. First is types of resources, then second is development of resources, third is resource planning, then land as a resource, land resources, then land utilization, then land use pattern in India, how we people use land in India, then land degradation, overuse of land causes land degradation, and wrong way of land use also causes land degradation. Then land conservation measures, then soil as a resource, then classification of soils, then soil erosion, then soil conservation. So this is related to land and soil only. Now chapter number 2 has been cut off. So chapter number 3 also cut off. Then chapter number 4. We come to chapter number 4 is agriculture. So type of farming. Okay, type of farming. Then second is cropping pattern, Kharif, Rabi. Then major crops, then technological and institutional reforms. Okay, machines in agriculture. That means impact of global impact of globalization on agriculture. Now, chapter number 5. What is chapter number 5? So, chapter number 5 belongs to minerals and energy resources. Now, what is a mineral? Definition of mineral. Then, mode of occurrence of mineral. Why do minerals occur? Okay, minerals are generally found underground. Okay, so ferrous and non-ferrous. Ferrous means which have major iron content. Non-ferrous means which do not have or very less iron content. Then non-metallic minerals. Both ferrous and non-ferrous are metallic minerals. Here non-metallic minerals, that means coal, for example, coal is non-metallic mineral. Then rock minerals, minerals which are found in rocks. Then conservation of minerals, how to save minerals. Then energy resources, what are different types of energy resources. Then classification of energy resources, already discussed in science also. Conventional and non-conventional energy sources. For example, coal is conventional, solar is non-conventional. Then conservation of energy sources, how to save energy sources, different type of energy resources. Then chapter number 6 is manufacturing industries. So first topic is importance. What is importance of manufacturing? Then second is contribution of industry to national economy. Now manufacturing and economy are interlinked. Okay, manufacturing boosts economy. Then industrial location. Why a particular industry is located at a particular site. Okay. The next is classification of industries. How can we classify different types of industries? Now next is spatial distribution. Location of different types of industries in different parts of India. Then next is industrial pollution. Now large scale industrialization causes pollution and its bad effects on environment, which leads to environmental degradation. Now next topic is control of environmental degradation. How can we save our environment? Now chapter number 7. Chapter number 7 is related to lifelines of national economy. Here we will discuss different means of transportation. So first is railways, then pipelines, then waterways. Now waterways are not common in India, then airways. Now next topic is communication. How can we communicate to each other? With the help of telephone, mobile phone, okay, through mail. These are different means of communication. Now next topic is international trade. Now trade can be categorized as domestic trade and international trade. That means trade with other countries. Then it is tourism as a trade. Tourism as a trade. How can we develop tourism in India? Now Unit number 3. Unit number 3 is related to civics, that means democratic politics. Part second. So first of all, we see the chapters which have been cut off from your board syllabus. So here we see chapter number 3. You will not find this chapter in your boards. So we will not discuss this chapter here. Chapter number 3. Then it is chapter number 5, chapter number 5, and then chapter number 8 also. So chapter number 3, 3rd, 5th and 8th you will not find in your boards. So first chapter is power sharing. So first topic is case studies of Belgium and Sri Lanka. Belgium and Sri Lanka. Then second topic is why power sharing, what is the need of power sharing, then forms of power sharing. Third topic is forms of power sharing. So power sharing is directly related to decentralization of power. There is no one man show. Again, federalism also means that India follows federalism. That means India has different levels of governance, that central government, then state government, then panchayati raj. Okay. So what is federalism? Then what makes India federal country? The third is how is federalism practiced? Then fourth is decentralization in India. Okay. Now chapter number 3 is related to democracy and diversity. Okay, democracy and diversity. So we know that India is a democratic country, but this chapter will not be in your syllabus, so we will not discuss here. Now chapter number 4. Chapter number 4 is gender, religion and caste. What is the relation of gender and politics? For example, reservation of women in politics. Okay. Then what is the relation between religion and politics? Then what is the relation between caste and politics? So now we come to chapter number 6 directly. So chapter number 6 is related to political parties. For example, Congress, BJP, these are political parties. Now, what is the need of political parties? Then, how many political parties? For example, America has only two political parties, but India has multi-party system. There is no restriction on number of political parties in India. Now, third is third is national and state parties. National political parties, then state parties, then we have challenges in political parties. What are different types of challenges in political parties? Then how can parties be reformed? What is the need of reforms in political parties? First of all, people with criminal background should be removed. So one major reform is required in political parties. Then chapter number 7. Chapter number 7 is outcomes of democracy. What are outcomes or results of democracy? India follows democracy. Are we successful after following democracy? How do we assess democracy's outcomes? What is the criteria of assessment? Is democracy a failure in India or not? Okay. Then accountable, responsive, and legitimate government. Government should have three qualities. It should be accountable, it should be responsive, it should be legitimate. Then Economic growth and development. One quality parameter. It can be a quality parameter of democracy. Then reduction of inequality. Are we successful in reduction of inequality and poverty? Poverty eradication or poor eradication. Then accommodation of special, social diversity. Accommodation of social diversity. India has diverse type of people. Diversity level is very high in India. So taking all into consideration, it should be motto of the government. Then dignity and freedom of its citizen. Then next is challenges to democracy. What are different types of challenges to democracy? India follows democracy, but what are different types of challenges? But this is not in your syllabus, so it's a lottery for you. Then we come to unit number 4. So unit number 4. First chapter is economic development. Now, what development promises? Here we will development means economic development. Now different people, different goals. Then income and other goals. High income is our goal. Our family income should be high, our state income should be high, our country income should be high. That can be a goal. Then national development, development of whole India, whole country, not development of my family or myself. Then how to compare different countries or states. For example, which country is more developed, India or America? Which state is more developed, Bihar or Punjab? Okay, what is the criteria of measurement of development? Then next is income and other criteria. Okay, should it be based only on income? Then public facilities, then sustainability of development. Development should be sustainable. Sustainable means it should remain, it should have a long life. Then second chapter is sectors of the Indian economy. Now first is sectors of economic activities, then second is comparing the three sectors. Now which sectors? First is primary, secondary, then tertiary. These are three sectors. Then division of sectors as organized and unorganized. For example, you work in a government job, then it organized sector. You work in a reputed firm, then it is organized sector. But a poor farmer is is he does he belong to organized sector? Does he get any facility of organized sector? No. So he belongs to unorganized sector. Now sectors in terms of ownership, private or public. Public means semi-government, government. Private means private ownership. Then third chapter is money and credit. Now what is credit? Credit means loan. Okay, credit means loan. So money as a means of exchange. You can buy anything with the help of money. You give money, you can buy anything in this word. Okay. Then modern forms of money. Modern forms of money. Notes, coins. Okay. Then currency. Loan activities of banks. Then next is two different credit situations. Then terms of credit. What are terms and conditions of getting a loan from the bank? Then formal sector credit in India. The next is self-help groups for poor. And chapter number 4 is globalization and the Indian economy. Globalization and Indian economy. Now, topics covered here are: first is production across countries. Production across countries. Now, there is no boundary of countries. Then, second is interlinking production across countries. Then, third is foreign trade and integration of markets. The next is what is globalization. The next is have factors that have enabled globalization, factors that support globalization. Then World Trade Organization, okay, which is responsible for spreading the trade across the world. Then next is impact of globalization on India, bad or good. Then next is the struggle for a fair globalization. This is the last topic. Now, next chapter does not belong to your board syllabus. It will be covered in your project. Okay. So now we move to math work. Topics of math which are in your syllabus, and you will find those topics in your board exams. So we move to map syllabus. So these are topics of map. So first topic is chapter number 3. Okay, which is a chapter of history, nationalism in India. Time period is 1918 to 1930, and places. You have to mark the places in your map of India. First place is Calcutta. Then second place is Nagpur. Third place is Madras. Okay, these are three places. Then second is important centers of Indian national movement. So Champaran, then Kheda, then likewise you have Ahmedabad, then you have Amritsar, then you have Chori Chora, okay, Dandi March, okay, Dandi movement you can say. Then from geography you have major soil types. First topic is major soil types. Then from chapter number 3, water resources, you have dams, location of dams. Okay, 8 dams you have to mark in your map of India. These are 8 dams location. Then chapter number 4. Chapter number belongs to 4 belongs to agriculture. So here major areas of rice and wheat. Okay. You have to mark major areas of rice and wheat. And then largest or major producer states, only states of sugarcane, then tea, coffee, then rubber, then cotton, then jute. Now, chapter number 5. Chapter number 5 belongs to minerals and energy resources. So, in minerals, you have to mark iron, iron ore places. So, these are iron ore places. These are 5 places from where iron is extracted. Then coal places. These are 4 coal places. Then we have oil fields. So 6 oil fields. Then we have power plants. So these are locations of power plants. Then first is thermal power plant, then nuclear power plant. Two types of power plants will be covered. Then chapter number 6. Chapter number 6 belongs to industries, manufacturing industries. So first type of industry is cotton industry or textile industry. So here 5 major locations. Then iron and steel industries, 6 major locations. Then software industries. So software industries have 8 major locations. Then chapter number 7. Chapter number 7 belongs to lifeline of national economy. So here you will have to mark first major ports. So in major ports you have 10 ports. Then international airports, you have 6 international airports you have to mark. So this is the last topic of your map syllabus. So with this we come to an end of this video. If you want to prepare for the exam, a list of books is available in the description box of this video. You can check that list for getting good marks in the exam, in your board exams. Okay. So video in Hindi is also available in Hindi language. If you are not comfortable in English, you can watch that video. Okay. You will find videos on all the subjects of class 10, both in Hindi and English. Hope you find the video useful. If you like the video, then hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Hope to meet in next video also. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.